Good morning. Welcome to the lecture series of operating system. In today's session, we try to discuss about the synchronization hardware. Hardware features can make any programming task easier and improve the system's efficiency. Already we know that it is possible to implement the synchronization using the software as well as the hardware solutions. But whenever we go for the hardware features can make any programming task easier and improve the system's efficiency. If you are able to implement the hardware synchronization, automatically the system's efficiency is improved. How the system efficiency is improved is, we are able to implement in the instruction level, so automatically it takes less processing time to implement the synchronization solutions. The modern computer systems provide hardware instructions such as test and set and swap instructions, which are used to provide solution to the critical section problem. Nowadays most of the computers are available, they are supporting the test and set and similarly the swap functions. These functions are used to implement the hardware synchronization. In today's session, we try to discuss how the test and set and swap are used to implement the critical section problem. The test and set, the name itself indicates that it is used to test and modify the content of the word. That is, whatever the parameter we are passed to the test and set function, and it simply modify the value of the parameter and returns the value is passed to the particular function. The swap function is used to exchange the contents of the words. So automatically the swap function takes the two arguments and simply exchange the arguments and returns the Boolean value. The mutual exclusion implementation using both the instructions, that is nothing but the test and set as well as the swap instructions, they are using the shared Boolean variable log, and the initial value of the shared Boolean variable is the false. So this is the brief introduction about the hardware synchronization construct. And we try to discuss about the test and set function. Actually the test and set is one of the Boolean function. Why it is called as a Boolean function? That function returns a Boolean value. For that reason, the test and set is a Boolean function, and it takes a Boolean parameter, and the parameter is also be passed as the call by reference. Already we know that it is possible to pass the parameters by call by value and call by reference. And why we are passing the parameter by call by reference is, it is possible to modify the parameter value and the modifications are reflected into the calling function. For that reason, here we are passing the target as a parameter, it is a Boolean parameter, and we are passing with the call by reference. Here in the implementation, the test and set function, here we are using the RV, that is nothing but the return value. To return the value, RV is a Boolean variable, and what is the value we are passed to the test and function, that value is assigned to the RV. And we directly assign the true to the target, that is, whatever the parameter target, if the target value is false or true, we are assigning directly true to the target and return RV. For example, we simply call the test and set function, which is the lock is a Boolean variable. If its value is false, once we call the function, the test and set function returns the false value and lock value is changed to the true. For example, lock is a Boolean value, already its value is true, and we call the test and set function, then automatically the test and set function returns the true value and the lock value is not changed, that is, its value is true only. So this is the implementation of the test and set function. I hope you understand the test and set is one of the user defined function. It simply it is a Boolean function. Why it is called as a Boolean function is, this function returns the Boolean value and it is also takes a Boolean parameter, and what is the parameter we pass it to the test and function, that value is returned by the test and set, and that parameter value is changed to the true. Now we try to discuss how the test and set function is used to achieve the mutual exclusion condition implementation using the test and set function. Here in this is the code we are used. Already we know that this is the critical section. What is the critical section? A set of instructions where they modify the shared data. And the remainder section, what is the remainder section? Where they are not modifying the shared data. Other than the shared data, they are performing some operations. So what is the important requirement? At any instant of time, only one process to be allowed to enter its critical section. For that reason, there is a need, we are using the entry section. This is the code is used for the entry section. This code is verifies if no process in the critical section, then only the process is allowed to enter into the critical section. If already some process in the critical section, this process must wait until the critical section execution is completed, then only this one is allowed to enter its critical section. So what is the code we are using in the entry section is while test and set of lock. Here we are using the lock is a Boolean variable and it is a global variable, that is all the processes are accessing the lock variable. And next we will discuss the entire execution in the next slide. First, these are the two statements are used for the entry section, and its main purpose is if no process in the critical section, then only this process is allowed to enter into the critical section. After completion of the critical section execution, we need to use the exit section. What is the exit section? We are assigning the false to the lock variable, then automatically if any other process are waiting, those are allowed to enter their critical section, and this is the remainder section. In the next slide, we will discuss about how the mutual exclusion condition is satisfied. Now we are assuming that PI is a process and it wishes to enter into the critical section. So already the PI process consisting of the critical section, that is nothing but here in this set of instructions they are modifying the shared data, and this is the remaining section, that is nothing but the remainder section. In this code they are not modifying the shared data. Before enter into the critical section, this is the entry section code. It simply verifies if no process in the critical section, then only this one to be allowed to enter into the critical section. If some processes are already in the critical section, this process must wait in the entry section only, and this is the exit section code. Now we try to discuss. For example, we are assuming that lock is a Boolean variable. Lock is a Boolean variable and its initial value is the false. Lock is a Boolean variable and its initial value is the false. All the processes are using the lock variable. And next one is in the entry section code of the ith block is the entry section code of the ith process is while test and set of lock do nothing. That is nothing but it simply called the test and set function. Already we know that lock is a Boolean variable and its initial value is false, and once we call the test and set function, that whatever the value is existing on the lock variable, that is returned. So already lock is a Boolean variable, its value is false, so the test and set returns the value false. And in the execution of the test and set, the lock value is simply changed to the lock value is simply changed to the true. That is previously it is false, now it is converted to the true and it simply returns the value is false. While false, the condition is false, so it terminates the loop and PI process is entered into the critical section. So I assume that you understand the PI process is entered into the critical section. Now for example, we are assuming that if P2 process wish to enter, for example P2 process wish to enter, already PI process in the critical section and P2 process wish to enter. Again the P2 process is also uses the entry section code while test and set of lock. Actually the lock is true because at the time of the PI process entry into the critical section, lock value is changed from false to true. For that reason, automatically if the P2 process wish to enter, it simply returns the value true. And lock value is already true, again we are assigning that, so the lock is not changed. So while true, if the condition is true, without performing any operation, again it is checks the condition. So automatically the P2 process is in this while loop only, that is it is in the busy waiting, it is continuously verifying the value of the test and set function. It continuously returns the true only. For that reason P2 is not allowed to enter into its critical section. So automatically it satisfies the mutual exclusion. The reason is already PI process in the critical section, and if the P2 process wish to enter, that one is not allowed to enter in the critical section. For example, PI process completed the critical section execution. What is the exit section code? They are assigning the false is assigned to the lock variable. So automatically the PI process assign the lock is false and PI process is entered into the remainder section. Once the PI process completed the execution of the exit section, then automatically P2 process is already in the while loop only. So automatically it again call the test and set of lock. Already the lock value is false because the PI process changed its value from true to false. For that reason the test and set function for the P2 process returns the false value and lock is assigned to the true. Lock is assigned to the true and automatically P2 process is entered in the critical section. So automatically based on this one we clearly understand that if there is no process in the critical section, if any process wish to enter, then automatically it assigns the lock value is true and the process is entered into the critical section. If the process is completed the critical section execution, they simply assign the false to the lock. So automatically one of the waiting process is allowed to enter its critical section. So automatically this algorithm satisfies the mutual exclusion condition. What is the mutual exclusion condition? At any instant of time, only one process is allowed to enter into the critical section, that condition is satisfied, and similarly it is also satisfied the progress condition. The reason is once the process completed the critical section execution, the false is assigned to the lock variable, automatically one of the waiting process is allowed to enter its critical section. So automatically this algorithm satisfies the mutual exclusion as well as the progress. Now we try to verify that the algorithm satisfies the bounded waiting or not. For example, we take the example of the P1, P2, P3 processes, and P1 is the highest priority process, P2 is the next highest priority, and P3 is the least priority process. For example, P1 process wish to enter into the critical section first. Initially lock is a Boolean variable. So now we want to verify that this algorithm satisfies the bounded waiting or not. Let we are assuming that P1, P2, P3 are the three processes. P1, P2 and P3 are the three processes. P1 is the highest priority process. Next highest priority process is P2 and least priority process is the P3. We are assuming that P1 is the highest priority process, P2 is the next highest priority process, and P3 is the least priority process. Already we know that lock is a global Boolean variable. Its initial value is false. If P0 process, P1 process, lock is a global Boolean variable and its initial value is false. If P0 process, if P1 process wish to enter into the critical section, first it executes the while test and set of ampersand lock. So automatically the lock value is set to true and the function returns the values of false. For that reason while loop is terminated and P1 is entered into the critical section. If P1 is already in the critical section, if P3 process wish to enter into the critical section, again the P3 process execute this code. So automatically while test and set of ampersand lock. Already the lock is a Boolean variable. Its value is set to true by the P1 process at the time of entry into the critical section. For that reason, if P3 process try to execute this statement, the test and set function returns the true value and lock value is again true only. So automatically it is not possible to terminate the while loop and P3 process in the waiting in the while loop, the busy waiting, that is it is continuously check the condition, every time it returns the true, so it is not allowed to enter into the critical section. So P3 process is waiting to enter into the critical section. So at that time, for example, P2 process also wish to enter into the critical section. P2 process is also execute this code, lock is already set by true by the P1 process. For that reason for P2 process also this test and set function returns the true value. For that reason P2 process is also be waiting in this particular loop only. For example, P2 and P3 are waiting in the while loop only and P1 completed the critical section execution. For example, once the P1 is completed the critical section execution, false is assigned to the lock variable. Lock is a false value. So automatically P2 and P3 are waiting processes. Once the P1 process completed the critical section execution, lock value is assigned to the false. So automatically P2 or P3, one of that one is allowed. But we are assuming that P2 is the highest priority process. For that reason P2 executed this statement first. So automatically the P2 process test and set returns the false value and lock is again assigned to the true. So automatically P2 is entered into the critical section, P3 is again in the waiting only. And before completion of the P2 process, P1 wish to enter. Again P1 is also in the while loop only. Now P1 and P3 are waiting in the while loop and P2 is in the critical section. If P2 completed the critical section execution, then automatically P1 is allowed. So automatically P1 and P2 are continuously allowed to enter into the critical section, P3 in the while loop only. That is, this algorithm not satisfying the bounded waiting condition. Now, we need to modify the algorithm to satisfy the bounded waiting condition also. For that reason, the modified algorithm is as follows. So, in the modified algorithm, already we know that we are using the lock is a global Boolean variable and its initial value is false. In addition to the lock, we are also using one more array, waiting. And what is the purpose of the waiting? Waiting is a Boolean array and based on the number of processes. For example, there are the 10 processes, then automatically the waiting size is also be 10. Or there are the 20 processes, the waiting is a Boolean array, its size is 20. Initially, each and every process is not waiting for to enter into the critical section. For that reason, all the values in the waiting array is false only, and similarly the lock is also a Boolean variable and its value is false. So, to satisfy the condition of the mutual exclusion, progress and bounded waiting, for each and every process uses the two global variables. These global variables are, one is the lock is a global Boolean variable, its initial value is false, and similarly the waiting is also be the Boolean array. Each and every process initially not waiting to enter into the critical section. For that reason, waiting of 0, waiting of 1 and so on, the waiting of n minus 1 for all these values is also be the false. For example, the PI process, this is the code for the ith process. What is the code for the ith process? Already we know that this is the critical section. So, this is the code is used for the entry section, and similarly this is the remainder section. After the critical section execution, this is used for the exit section. So, in the previously what is the code we are used? We are using the key, we are using only the while test and set of lock only, that is the statement is used in the entry section in the previous code. To maintain the bounded waiting, here we are initial, for example, if the ith process wish to enter into the critical section, for that reason we are assigning waiting of I is equal to true. If ith process wish to enter, waiting of I is equal to, for example, P1 process wish to enter into the critical section, waiting of 1 is equal to true. If P2 process wish to enter, then waiting of 2 is equal to true. In that way, if ith process wish to enter, then waiting of I, we are assigning true to the waiting of I. And next, already we know that key is a Boolean variable, we are assigning its initial value is the true. And we are verifying the condition while waiting of I and the key. Already key is a Boolean variable, its value is true, and waiting of I is also be true, we are assigned. So, the first time these two conditions are true, for that reason it simply called the test and set function. It simply called the test and set ampersand lock. What is the role of the test and set? It simply takes the lock is a Boolean variable, and what is the value is existing, that is assigned to the key, and lock value is changed to the true. If it is already true, returned true, and lock value is not changed, true only. If the lock is false, then it returns the false value to the key, and lock is changed to the true. So, this is used for the entry section. And after completion of this while loop is terminated, we are assigning waiting of I is equal to false. Now, we try to verify the statements. For example, we are assuming that just like the previous example, we take the three processes, P1, P2, P3 are the processes. Initially, P1 wish to enter into the critical section. P1 wish to enter into the critical section, for that reason I is equal to 1. If P1 process wish to enter into the critical section, first it calls the waiting of I is equal to true. For example, already we know the three processes, waiting is an array, its values are the actually the 0, 1, 2 and 3, and initially all are false. If P1 process wish to enter into the critical section, first it executes the true is assigned to the waiting of I. For that reason waiting of I, waiting of 1, initially its value is false, it is changed to the true. I hope you understand this one. Next we try to assign key is equal to, so key is one of the Boolean variable and initially its value is false. Now we are assigned to the true value. And now we are executing the statement while waiting of I and key. Waiting of 1 is true and key value is also be true. both are true, for that reason this statement is executed. What is this statement? It's simply called the test and set ampersand lock. Already we know that lock is a global boolean variable. Lock is a global boolean variable and its initial value is false. For that reason the test and set function returns the false value. So automatically previously key value is true, it is changed to the false, and lock value is changed true because the test and set function, whatever the value is existing on the lock, that is returned and true is assigned to the lock variable. So after execution of this statement, key value is false, lock value is true. So again it verifies the while condition. While weighting of I, its value is true, weighting of 1 is true, but key value is false. So true, logical and false, the entire condition is false. For that reason it terminates the loop. That is nothing but P1 process is allowed, next P1 process is allowed to enter into the critical section. For that reason we are assigning weighting of I is equal to false. Previously it is weighting. For that reason we are assigning the true in the first statement. Once the while loop is terminated, immediately we are allowing the P1 process to enter into the critical section. For that reason, the weighting of 1 is converted from true to false. Converted from true to false. And P1 process in the critical section execution. I hope you understand. The P1 process is allowed to enter into the critical section. Now we are assuming that P2 process wish to enter into the critical section. Now what is the value of I? If you are considering the P2 process, then I is equal to 2. If P2 process wish to enter into the critical section, again in this code, weighting of I is equal to 2. That is, we try to assign the true value to the weighting of I. I is 2, for that reason, weighting of 2 initially false. Now we change it to the true. Weighting of 2 is true. And true is assigned to the key. Already key value is false, now we are assigning to the true value. Now we are executing the statement while weighting of I. I value is to weighting of 2 is true because now only we are assigned using the first statement, and key value is also be true using the second statement we are assigned. The total condition is true, then automatically call the test and set of lock variable, lock function. Already lock is true. For the, when the lock is assigned to true, at the time of P1 allowed to enter into the critical section, the lock value is true. For that reason, the test and set function returns the true value. So key value is not changed, it is true only. And next one is lock is also be the true only. So automatically again it goes to the while function, weighting of 2 is true and key is true, both the conditions. So it is repeatedly executing. So automatically P2 process is not allowed to enter into the critical section. So I hope you understand that P2 process is not allowed to enter into the critical section. At the same time, for example, we are assuming that P3 process wish to enter into the critical section. If P3 process wish to enter, now we try to execute this code for the P3 process, then automatically I value is equal to 3. I value is equal to 3. So they are assigned the true to the weighting of I. Now I is equal to 3. For that reason weighting of 3, previously it is false, now it is changed to the true. I hope you understand. The first statement is true is assigned to the weighting of I. I is equal to 3 because we are considering the P3 process which to enter into the critical section. So true is assigned to the weighting of 3 and true is assigned to the key. Already key value is true. Again we are assigning true to the key value, that is the second statement. Third statement is weighting of I. Weighting of 3 is true and key value is also be true. The total condition is true. It's simply called the test and set function with lock variable. Lock is the global boolean variable. Already its value is true at the time of P1 process entered into the critical section. For that reason the test and set returns true only and lock value is true because we are assigning the test and set function true to the parameter which we passed. For that reason P3 is also be in the while loop only because it is not allowed to terminate. It is also be in the busy waiting. So P1 in the critical section execution, P2 is in the while loop and P3 process is also be in the while loop. So no process, already P1 process is execution in the critical section. P2 try to enter, it is not allowed. P3 try to enter the critical section, P3 is also not allowed. So automatically this algorithm satisfies the mutual exclusion condition. Now we are assuming that P1 process completed the critical section execution. Once the P1 process completed the critical section execution, it is executing the remainder section of the P1 process. What is the remainder section? They are assigning j is equal to I plus 1 mod n. First we are assuming that P1 process completed the critical section execution. So then automatically what is the value of I? I is nothing but 1, because we are considering the P1 process statements. For that reason I is equal to 1. Now we are calculating the j is equal to I plus 1 mod n. What is the I plus 1? I is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 mod total number of processes is 4. For that reason 2 mod 4 is 2 only. For that reason j value is equal to 2. Are you understand why we get the j value is equal to 2? Because we are discussing about the P1 process, want to execute the exit section. For that reason I value is equal to 1, and 1 plus 1 mod 4, because we are considering the 4 processes P0, P1, P2, P3. For that reason n is equal to 4, and 1 plus 1 2 mod 4 is equal to 2, j value is equal to 2. Now we are verifying the condition. While j is not is equal to I, 2 is not is equal to 1 condition is true, and not weighting of j. What is the weighting of 2? It is true. Weighting of 2 is true, but whenever you are using the not weighting of true, then automatically false. If this is true and the second condition is false, the entire condition is false, it simply terminates the while loop. It simply terminates the while loop. Once it is terminated the while loop, it verifies if j is equal to I. Actually 2 is equal to 1 condition is false. For that reason the control goes to the else part. They are assigning the weighting of j is equal to false. What is the value of j? 2. So automatically this true is modified as a false. So what is the advantage if the true is assigned to the false? In the P2 process is waiting for this one, that is waiting of I P2 process point of view. What is the I value 2? It is waiting for the weighting of 2 and the key value. If P1 process modifies the weighting of 2 is false, then automatically P2 terminates this while loop, because this entire condition is false. It comes out of the function while loop. Then automatically weighting of 2 is assigned to the false, and automatically it is allowed to enter into the critical section. So automatically what is the advantage? If the P1 process is completed the critical section, it verifies if the P2 process is waiting, directly they modified the weighting of 2 is false. If the P2 process is not waiting, again the while loop j is increased by 1. So it continuously verifying the P2, P3, P4 and P0 and so on. If no process is waiting, then only the lock is assigned to the false. Otherwise one of the waiting process is allowed to enter into the critical section. So automatically based on this equation, based on this algorithm, if P1 completed the critical section execution and P2 and P3 are waiting, P2 is allowed to enter into the critical section. If the P2 process is executing in the critical section, P3 is waiting. If P1 process is also tried to enter, again it is also be waiting of 1 is set to true, and it is also be the while loop only. Once the P2 completed its execution, it allows the first P3 followed by the P0 followed by the P1 and so on. So it simply follows the circular queue order. For that reason at maximum any other process is allowed at maximum one time only. For that reason this algorithm satisfies the mutual exclusion, progress and bounded waiting conditions. So this is the algorithm satisfies all the three conditions. Now we try to discuss about the second function supported by the hardware synchronization purpose, that is nothing but the swap function. We are widely using the swap function for the first year onward. What is the meaning of the swap function? It simply exchanges the values of the parameters. But what is the difference between the swap function in the first year C programming and here the operating system swap hardware synchronization construct is the swap function simply exchanging the Boolean values. Swap function exchanging the Boolean values. So automatically it simply takes the two parameters, and what is the value is existing on A is assigned to the temporary variable, and B value is assigned to the A, and the temporary value is assigned to the B, and we are passing the parameters by call by reference. So automatically the parameters values are exchanged. So this is the swap function. So what is a swap function? It is a Boolean function. Swap takes the two Boolean parameters and those values are simply exchanged. Now we try to discuss about how to use the swap function to achieve the process synchronization. So here also we are assuming that this is the critical section, That is nothing but where they modify the shared data, and this is the remainder section. Before entry into the critical section, they are using the entry section, and this is the exit section. So we try to discuss about how the algorithm satisfies the process synchronization. We are assuming that if the PI is a process and this is the code is used, and the entry, and next one is here we are using the Boolean values is lock is a Boolean variable and its initial value is false. Internally we are using the key is a local variable in every process. Initially we are assigning true to the key Boolean variable. And the entry section code is while key is equal to true, already key value is true, for that reason initially this condition is true, directly execute the swap function. What is the swap function? It simply swaps the lock and key variables. Already we know that lock is a global Boolean variable. Lock is a global Boolean variable. Its initial value is the false. If P1 is the first process which to enter into the critical section, at that time the P1 process is also key is a local variable, its initial value is true, and it simply called the while key is equal to true, it simply called the swap function, that is simply exchange the key and lock. Initially key is true and lock is false, for that reason these are swapped, that is lock value is true and key value is false, and automatically while key is equal to true, actually key value is false, for that reason it terminates the loop and P1 is entered into the critical section. Now we are, P1 is already in the critical section. Now we are assuming that P2 process wish to enter into the critical section. If the P2 process wish to enter into the critical section, the P2 process is also uses the lock global variable. Its value is true because at the time of P1 process wish to enter, at that time lock value is assigned to the true, and then further, and the key is a local variable. Initially its value is true, and while key is equal to true, condition is true, it simply called the swap function. It simply exchanges the lock and the key. Key value is true and lock is true. After swapping also both are true only. For that reason any number of times it calls key value is true only. So the P2 process is in the busy waiting. It is not allowed to enter into the critical section. So if P1 is already in the critical section, if some other process wish to enter, that one is not allowed to enter into the critical section. Once the P1 process completed the critical section execution, they are assigned the lock is equal to false. Lock is a global variable, it is assigned to the false. If any process wish to enter, it calls the swap function. Immediately key value is changed to false and it is allowed to enter into the critical section. For that reason, P1 completes the critical section execution, P2 process is allowed to enter into the critical section. So automatically this algorithm satisfies the progress condition. So this is the simple algorithm using the swap function. Key is a local variable, Boolean variable, we are assigning true, and the lock is a global Boolean variable. All the processes access the lock global variable. Initially its value is equal to false. If any process wish to enter, first one which call the swap function, at that time they simply terminate the while loop and lock value is assigned to true, and the process is entered into the critical section. If one process already in the critical section, then lock value is equal to true and local key value is true. For that reason, any times we call the swap function, key value is not changed, the other process is not allowed to enter into the critical section. Once the process completed the critical section execution, using the lock is equal to false, one of the waiting process is allowed to enter into the critical section. For that reason, this algorithm satisfies the progress as well as the mutual exclusion condition, but this algorithm not satisfy the bounded waiting. Why it is not satisfy the bounded waiting? Just like the previous example, P1, P2, P3. P1 is the highest priority process, P2 is the next highest priority process, and P3 is the least priority process. P3 is continuously waiting and P1 and P2 are allowed to enter into the critical section. To overcome this one, it is also possible to provide a solution using the waiting array, using the just like the previous test and set what is the algorithm we are using. Here also it is possible to implement the algorithm to satisfy the bounded waiting condition also. I will give it as an assignment. Try to modify this algorithm. Actually this algorithm satisfies the mutual exclusion and the progress. You need to modify the algorithm to satisfy the bounded waiting condition also. We will take that is as an assignment and please submit the assignment within 1 day. Some of the computer architectures are also supporting the compare and swap definition, and already in the previous one we discussed about the swap function. In addition to the swap, before performing the swap operation, it performs the compare operation. if based on the comparison condition is true, then only it performs the swap operation. So in the compare and swap function, it simply takes the three parameters. The first one is the integer value, and another one is the expected value, and another one is the new value. For example, if it simply compares that if the value is equal to expected, then only the new value is assigned to the value. Otherwise, its value is not changed. So automatically, what is the statements we are used? We take the temp is a local variable, and the value is assigned to the temp value, and we are verifying the condition. If value is equal to expected, then only the new value is assigned to the value. Otherwise, without changing the value, directly it returns the temp value. That is what is the information is available in the value that is written by the compare and swap function. Now we try to discuss how this one is used to achieve the process synchronization. So here the code is a simple one. While compare and swap, lock 0, 1 condition, and if it is not is equal to 1, nothing. So here we are assuming that initially lock is an integer variable and its initial value is 0. And we are assuming that there are the processes P1, P2 and P3 processes, and P1 process is to enter into the critical section. It simply calls the compare and swap function lock. Initially the lock value is 0 and the second parameter is also be 0. For that reason, if both are same, then 1 is assigned to the lock. So automatically the lock value is changed 0 to 1 and it returns the value is 0, because what is the initial value 0, for that reason it returns the 0. 0 is not is equal to 0, condition is false. For that reason, P1 process is allowed to enter into the critical section. If P1 process in the critical section, if P3 process wish to enter, then P3 process again call the same function compare and swap function with log 0 and 1. Already log value is 1 and it simply compare the 1 is equal to 0. The condition is false, 1 is not assigned. Directly it returns the value is existing on the log, that is 1. 1 is not is equal to 0, condition is true. For that reason, without performing any operation again in the while loop it executes. So automatically P3 process is not allowed to enter into the critical section. For example, P2 wish to enter, again the same one, it is also be not terminated in the while loop, it is not allowed to enter into the critical section. And once the critical section is completed by the P1 process, in the exit section, 0 is assigned to the lock variable and P0 goes to the remainder section. One of the P2 or P3 is allowed to enter into the critical section because the lock value is equal to 0. Which function first call the compare and swap, it returns the value 0. For that reason, 0 not is equal to that one is terminate the while loop and allowed to enter into the critical section. This algorithm is also satisfy the mutual exclusion and progress, and it is not satisfying the bounded waiting. The reason is this algorithm is also not following any waiting array is not, Boolean array is not used. For that reason, P1 and P2 are the highest priority process compared to the P3 and they are continuously wish to enter. P3 need to wait to enter. For that reason, bounded waiting condition is not satisfied this algorithm. So in today's class, we discussed about the how to use the test and set, and similarly the swap, and another one is the compare and swap. And what is the difference between the swap and compare and swap? Swap takes the Boolean parameters and takes only two parameters. And if the directly perform the swap operation and what is the value is existing on the log, that value is written by the swap function. But whenever we are using the compare and swap, it simply compares the first and the second parameters. If both are same, then only the new value, third parameter is sent to the first one. Otherwise, without changing the value of the first parameter, the value in the first parameter is simply written by the compare and swap function. It is a slightly modified function, and another difference is swap takes the Boolean parameters, compare takes the integer parameter. For that reason, in that swap function we are compared with the true, but here we are compared with the not is equal to 0. The remaining is the same. I hope we discussed about the hardware synchronization construct, that is nothing but the test and set, swap and compare and swap function. In the next class we will discuss about the semaphores. Thank you.